There we go. All right, you guys. Happy Wednesday. I'm excited to be doing this call. I feel like I know I feel like I say this, but it's just like a whirlwind. Here we are. It's like already almost the end of October. And so many good things are happening right now in Green Compass, as always. There's always just so much to be grateful for and to be kind of reflecting on. And I kind of wanted to start with that. Um, I think often about how what we get to share and how powerful, like I can't say it enough. It's like the fact that we have this incredible plant product, pure ingredients are amazing. They're transparent. It is harvested by hand. There's this vision, the story, how it all came about, right? There's so many things that we can go on and on and on about. Um, to kind of share like what we have here. And I think that we can always come back to this, like what we get to share and how incredibly beautiful and different and powerful it is that we can open so many people's eyes and help them to be aware of what we have and how different it is. And as we, kind of look around as to what is happening around us, with other companies and things. I think it's a weird time, right? We can all agree it's a really strange time right now, and my motive is always to say or to share or to have the perspective of like, you don't have to join me. Like that's not what this is about. You don't have to join me. You have plenty of options, right? But I want you to know what we have here. Like I want to open your eyes because had I not landed here somehow magically by the grace of God, I wouldn't I almost believe that I wouldn't be here because I wouldn't have known. There's no way for these people to know. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but there's no way for these people to know. Like we think like people should be here and then whatever. And it's the best and it's the best, but we wouldn't know that. And I found myself saying this, had I not had a shift between the first company and this company, I think I would have flown down somebody else's path following someone because I wouldn't have known. So I say this because it's so powerful what we have to say, our voice, the mission, and nobody else, like we can say it over, nobody else has this and has this gift, right? And we hold it in our hands. And I just think if you want to share about Green Compass, it sure as hell now is the time to do that, because of the timing of just the company in general, but also the timing of where we are in the year. This is about to be our best, your best personal monthly numbers, whatever. I'm a numbers person. I think it's fun to look at growth, right? So like when we think about growth, what do we like? I hope the word growth just gets you excited. It should get you excited no matter what. Like if we're talking about growth within our own personal journey or growth within our business, the growth that's about to happen, even like though we've already grown so much, but we're just completely continuously compounding, which is just incredible. And so I hope that you are able to sort of try to put into words with your heart, with your thoughts, and share. And I know that I could be better about certain things that I'm sharing, or not sharing. And I could be a little bit more, I don't know, consistent is the word. I'm pretty consistent, but just in certain ways, like I just did a business post on Facebook just a little bit ago. And it's just kind of been some thoughts that have been in my brain. And sometimes it takes us to just like sit down and say, all right, like here we go, and start just writing, start just sharing your heart and your thoughts, and you can really never go wrong. So um, the last thing I kind of want to say is that you'll only be where you want to be in 3 to 6 months, whatever that looks like, right? There's so many things, so many ways that we want to grow income, team, whatever it is, right? And you'll only be where you want to be in 3 to 6 months if you show up now. And so I love that we get to come together on these to show up together, just because. And the other thing too is we've never, as a team, been more organized and more resourceful with our new onboarding system, which we're so excited about, just because it feels so good to be able to be like, okay, we've got all these new advocates. Here you go. Like it's right here, week one. You got it. You don't, there's no question. It's just like all right here. We didn't have to send this and that and this and tag and this. It was just like, it's there. And this is really going to lead up to something else that we kind of are going to work on to getting them to team leader. And then it's just going to be very duplicable for everybody coming in. And so that feels really good too, going into the busiest time of the year, to know that we have everything that we need. Our ducks are in a row, so that people can really come in and feel like they are just supported. And then we have a million other things as far as calls and resources that are in play for them to plug into. So I'm excited. I hope y'all are excited. And we kind of crushed the sleep jelly thing, just saying. We kind of crushed it. I'm really proud of everyone and just how much we were able to show up and share. And those are always fun because it really does get people off the fence. And I think that there's always this letdown of like, okay, now it's like we share for 5 days about sleep jellies being free and we get orders. And then we feel like, okay, I've shared and shared. Now what am I going to talk about? Because there's like no incentive to buy, right? There's nothing to like give them. And it feels kind of like the dust is like settled and it's not as fun. That's how it kind of feels because the momentum's just doesn't, kind of a little piece of that maybe is taken away. But we have to just remember that it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. And they're always getting a really awesome value. You know, just with their investment, no matter what. And there's plenty of ways to offer like free, yes, like different ways to offer balance and restore. I mean, there's always just really good ways to offer things. So, all right. So there's that. Let's kick it off. Lindsay's going to help us kick off our first task of the Power Hour, and we're going to get started.
Yay, I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so excited for the simplicity. And I want to encourage you to lean into it because somebody just said the other day. So I finally went into boards and I can't believe how long I've been trying to recreate the wheel. And guess what? I've done it. Tabitha's done it. We've all done it. But what I need you to know now is that we never have to do it again. And it's so simple. And it's as simple as this, too, to get people to have quick success, which you guys are going to learn. I want to encourage all of you to do something. And we're going to tell you at the end of the call and challenge you to do it. But I want to give a shout out to Jessica really quick because she's on here and she just enrolled a few days ago. You just got your kit, like, right? Like within the week or something. And she has a really powerful story that I didn't even know that she was not even going to tell me. She just planned a virtual pop-up by herself before she even had her kit. But when she knew she'd have her kit, she'd have her be able to show her products. She invited her friends and family, her top 10 list without even knowing that's what she was doing. And then I said, so how are you? Blah, blah. She's like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm like, when? Do you need help? She's like, if you want to get on and help. I'm like, yes, I'll get on and help. I jumped on today. She kicked it off with her story. She was brave. She was vulnerable. She had tears. She shared things I didn't know. We were all so moved. And it showed that she didn't have a setup. People couldn't try it. She showed people what she used, told them what she knew, products she didn't know. She was like, I don't know, I'm new to this. So it says this, I don't know. And I piped in a little bit and the people that were on there were like, we want the digestive. I love that idea. I need to try the tinctures. And it's all because she didn't even try to get fancy. She kept it simple and she did exactly what just like was led, like just what made sense to her, and that is the wheel. So I want to just say that because we don't need to recreate the wheel, and we think we do, but we don't. And so we're doing an action hour, and a lot of you know that I do things very religiously. When I get in the shower, I wet my body. The next thing I do is I wash my face because I don't wash my hair every day. I wash it every 2 weeks, okay? So don't judge me. put my hair up, wash my face, wash my body, shave if it's a shaving day, right? And basically, if I'm washing my hair, I do that first. Same thing. If I do it out of order, then I literally will get to one part and be like, did I wash my hair? Or did I wash my face? Or like, I don't remember because we are creatures of habit. So, what I do always before we get into an action hour is we get our algorithm up because it works and I'm a creature of habit. So, the very first thing I'm going to do in the morning or anything before I get going, but you have to have a mindset of not getting squirreled or derailed, is I literally will set a timer or I'm not going to set it here. We're just going to do a certain number of things. So I want you to go to either your Instagram or your Facebook, whichever it is that you want to work off of today. And we're just going to boost the algorithm. So you guys, a lot of people are always worried about the algorithm and this is what and yes, they change it, but do you know what never changes? That the people who are social on social media get more views and get more activity. That will never change. There's little parts about the algorithm that do change. If you're doing this, if you're doing this, if you're doing reels, if you're using a new feature, but at the end of the day, they will always give people who are being social on social media more. So you have control, even if you don't think you do. But the question is, are you having control of your activities? Are you purposely going through and liking people's posts just to like, commenting just to comment as a social media user? Watching their stories just to watch them with no intention of anything else, just being social on social media. The more messages you have out that are being responded to, just connecting with people, more algorithm for you. So you are always in control. So when my stuff is down, I have made the connection. It's typically because I'm only doing my work of check my inbox, check my comments, keep moving, and I'm not boosting my own socialness on social media. So, I don't know if that's foolproof, but it seems to always be like when I'm more doing that, then I'm getting more views. Okay. So let's go ahead and what you're going to do is swipe down so that you get a new news feed. And on the first 10 posts that you see, you're going to simply love them or like them, whatever it is. Now, if you don't really like it, don't like a thing that isn't really you. If it's not your jam, don't do it. Just go past it. But the first 10 that you see, and this should be quick, just 10 likes or loves. This is also where you guys will notice sometimes where I have a bunch of, if you watch my stories, I'll have a bunch of quotes in my stories sometimes. It's typically because as I'm doing this, I'm like, ooh, and sharing stuff to your stories is also a social media. So if you see something just now, you can just share it into your stories as well. Or another thing I like to do is if this made me think of Tabitha, then I'll just share it to Tabitha real quick. That's being at a little more activity on social media, sharing other people's stuff with other people. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is funny. Listen to this. This is literally what just came up, and I'm going to share it. But sorry if there's a kid around. Can a kid hear me? I see a family room. Okay. It says, not to suck my own nipple or anything, but what I offer is rare and you'll never find it in anyone else. Plus, I'm fucking hilarious. That is amazing. Okay, I'm sharing that because that's funny. And then when you put them in and you do a poll or you do a quick little story swipe and people they really think that's funny and they take action, this is more boost for you. All right, so next, I'm on 9, 10. Okay, so next you're going to go ahead and boost it again. And the next 10, now normally I'll do 25 likes, but I'm keeping it shorter tonight. So we did 10, 25 likes. Now we're going to do 10 authentic comments on 10 things that we see. Okay. And this should be quick and authentic. I mean, even like a comment on this guy that posts all the health stuff, even just putting boom on that, you commenting on someone else who has a lot of things going on, you just got to see that like all those things give you more of that boost. Mhm. You can also just throw emojis as comments to go quicker. Okay. So wherever you are, if you're not even done with the 10, that's fine. Just go ahead and go back up to the top. And then normally I'll do 3 people. We're just going to do one. We're going to watch one person's story and message or comment onto their story. So if you want to choose like a new advocate of yours or a prospect of yours or someone who you wish you want to connect with more and just strategically send a comment to their story. So a new customer, I just saw that she is on vacation and she posted a story. And so I just loved it and sent, that's so fun, enjoy. That little thing does something for our business too, right? That customer feels loved on, paid attention to. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add stories into our own story. So we're going to do stories and we're going to do a post. If you've already done these for the day, you don't have to do them again. And you can go ahead and check your inbox or like and love and get some more action going. This should only take a few minutes. But what we planned on doing is if you do not have your stories up for the day yet, we went into the week one that we posted in the Rise Nation, and you can post one of those sets, or we were going to do the business, weren't we? Which are what Jacqueline just shared. So she already shared them because those are the week one, I believe, right? So we're going to share what Jacqueline just shared with the in the Green Compass Team Non-Tax thread. We're going to go ahead and share those stories to our stories. If you add music to the first one, it will grab people's attention more. Anything that gets more than one what do I want to say? Sensory. So if it's audible as well as visual, okay, if it's moving and audible and visual, the more senses you hit, the more they're going to stay. So on that first one that you do, if you put music, you don't have to put music on all. You can, but if you put music on the first one, it'll grab attention. So let's go ahead, grab those and head into your stories, and we're going to post those in our stories. So I'm actually posting the green one that says you are invited to We Are Green Compass call, discovery call with Jacqueline Potter. I'm actually putting that first I just put in words tomorrow at the top, and I'm going to put music on this one. So that's what I'm doing with that. Okay. And then the next story would be would it be the let's talk about how you can earn 1,000 in your first month? Or is it the green compass is the number two? That's probably the next one, right? The second slide
I
would
think
be the
it's
green.
the first slide in that one is how to make $1,000.
Got it. And then so we go here and then go over and then it shows. So it's the first one is how to make 1,000. Then it's Green Compass is the number two CBD company. And then it's the double bonuses.
Correct. The problem we just identified though, is it's actually like it's $100 less. They're actually going to make $100 less than that because I created those when they were double bonuses, and then we that was just brought to our attention yesterday. So either you go ahead and post it because it's really close. Like we're not trying to fool people with this. It's very close. Or you create a new number where those are until I can get it fixed. Just FYI for anybody who didn't know that. Um, you know, that's where we are with those.
Yes.
But they're still very
Okay. So
like and useful a visual to break down.
and I'm going to edit it and I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing as I am. So with the let's talk about how you can earn the 1,000 with that you join, I just put my own box here and I just put and why you should join us because we just invited them to something. So I like to add things to the stories that even though we're using them, because yes, we're all using them, but then it just makes it a little bit more your own. I don't always. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just taking this from Tabitha and I'm using it as is. Thank you. It's her picture and I don't care. Other times I'm like, okay, let me make this a little bit like mine. Okay. So then the next one would be the welcome double bonuses, 10 new customers, $200 bonus is a 300. Two new advocates is it says $200 bonus there plus 300 commission. That's where it should be $100 bonus and where this should be 900. So we can use the swipe up. We can change that on here if you want to, which I'm going to do for mine. And I'll just save it. And then we can. Okay. So I just edited it in my stories and I'm just going to pop that into the green compass one in case you want to you just use that and not have to edit it yourself. So it's fine. It said, let's talk about how you can, but it doesn't matter. Like it is what it is, I think. I'd rather have it say 900, even though we're like, let's talk about how you can make your first. We're right there. Okay. And so then the second one is 10 new customers. Oh, I see. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. So to end the story series, we can all take our phones out and take a picture of us like this. And then because it kind of just stops abruptly. It invites to Jacqueline's thing. It says, let's talk about how we can make 1,000, why you should join us. It gives the breakdown and then it's done. We can't just leave it done, right? So let's take a picture here and say, join us tomorrow. Put your name in this question box to join us tomorrow and learn more about why we chose to join. Okay, ready? One, two, three. Okay, I'll share this. Okay, so I'm just going to put, there are so many reasons we chose. to partner with GC. Drop your name below to join us tomorrow or for the replay. I like to let people know there's a replay. And then name here. And I'm going to add music on this one. Okay, I'll drop this in there edited as well for those of you who may not want to do all that. Okay, so the other thing that we were going to have you do, but we'll have you do it at the end as homework, so we can move on to the next part, is we're going to have you do a business post for today. That's a hard one for a lot of people to do, especially when we feel like maybe we haven't had our own like really big success moment, or like we just have a hard time sometimes finding the words to pour the belief into others. So if you go to my page today, I made a business post that's talking about if someone told me it was different here, I wouldn't have believed them. I had to feel it for myself. And so you can copy this, edit the parts you want to edit, or keep it, make sure it's your story or whatever you want, but it has some good points in here, and then post it with letting people know they can join you for a call to learn more about Green Compass. I love that there's a whole crew in Courtney's living room. Yes. Hi. That's so fun. Okay. So I'll actually copy and paste that from my Instagram so that you guys don't have to type it all, and I'll put it in our thread, and then you can copy it and put it in your note section, edit it to be yours, and then later when we get off of this, it's super easy. You have that, edit it to be yours, throw a picture up with it, and boom, you've got your business post up. Tab.
All right, here we go. So next thing we're gonna do, I shared an invitation in the chat that is for Jacqueline's call tomorrow night. We got to get really good at just being open, boldly asking people to check this out, check this call out. Would you have any interest? I don't know if you're interested, but I never know who would benefit. Like I have these products, this space, this plant, whatever. Because since we're starting this new call schedule where, it's Tuesday trainings and then we're doing a Thursday opportunity call, it's like clockwork. Every Thursday, there's an opportunity call. So if we, kind of plan for this to make sure that we're really getting those out there, that's what's going to be so important to get people to these. Now, I shared that invitation. I went off of what Lindsay had shared in Rise Nation, and I tweaked it just a little bit, but change it, do whatever you want with it. And sometimes, I think that sometimes I think people get stuck on, like, it's like, we're always like, write your list. Where's your list? Who are you going to invite? But sometimes we're just sitting here like, okay, I got to think of these people and I can't really think. So I want you to go to like your Facebook, go to a post that you've done. Who's liked the post? Who's interacted? Who's watched some of your stories? Sometimes if we just look through, and I'm guilty of not doing this in a really long time, is going through just people who have like actually liked something that I've posted, because chances are there's probably a lot of those people that I've never reached out to. And if you know them, you can just be like, hey, I just wanted to ask. Like, I've never asked you. Fine if you're not interested, but I wanted to, since I've never asked. Would you, have you heard about Green Compass? Would you, I've shared a lot. Would you have any interest in just seeing why I'm so like excited about this company or what it's done for me or whatever the case is? It's hard sometimes when we type out a generalized like invitation. It feels a little bit, but just say it however you would say it. Just don't be afraid to ask the question. It's kind of like the analogy like years ago I heard where it was like you're a waitress, right? And you're in a restaurant and you're gonna ask someone if they want coffee, and they're gonna say no. And then or they're gonna say yes. And then you're gonna pour them some. And then you're gonna come back and you're gonna be like, do you want more coffee? And they're gonna say yes or no or whatever. If they say no, you're gonna come back and you're gonna offer them something else, right? So it's like you don't know unless you ask, but it's our job to do that. So I want you guys to jog your memory, jog your list kind of by doing that where you're looking on Facebook, looking on Instagram, whatever. And I want you to send out, we're going to just be a little bit bold here and we're going to send out 10 invitations. Okay. Now, don't beat yourself up if you don't get 10 sent out. Like some is better than none. But let's try to like stretch ourselves just a touch here so that we can send out more because we know that it's a numbers game sometimes. If we invite 10, how many of those people are actually going to be interested? Maybe like hopefully 5, but maybe more like 2. So let's do that. And then of course, there's always the recording, and this is nice because then if you get someone interested, this is where it's nice because if they don't get on the call because people don't do what they say they're going to do. So if they don't get on the call, then it's like, okay, hey, you couldn't get on the call. I got the recording. Do you have 20 minutes to watch this? Because these opportunity calls on Thursday nights are going to be very quick from what I understand, which is great because I feel like people need that. So, all right. So if you have any questions, feel free to unmute or comment in the chat and let's get 10 of these out and maybe just comment when you get like 5 done. And then that way I know how we are on time and then we'll do another 5. And something else I want to share that I feel like I know for me, I've stopped talking about and I need to start talking about again is when I came into this business, there was double bonuses. Okay. Not like the double team leader bonus, but like double bonuses for rank advancements. Those are still a thing. Like they started double bonuses when I came in, which was the $6,500 that you could earn when you came in. It's the same, but it was like a big deal at the time because they had went from whatever half of 6,500 to 6,500, and so it was like a huge deal at the time. And it's like when I came in I just remember thinking, wow, like someone could potentially earn 6,500 on top of the commission, on top of everything else. And so we need to talk about this because that's a lot of money. And I know that that bonus is more for the person who's like all in, like balls to the wall. But still, like I feel like that's something that should be shared. So just another thing um to share, kind of to talk about like the income potential that we have here.
Yeah, and I'll say that's one of the things that made me say yes to Green Compass was the fact that I knew if I did everything I could do, that I had the potential of earning $6,500 in 4 months minimum if I could hustle, put my put my head down, do the things, and that was minimum because on top of that I'm getting the commissions and things. So that's a huge one and I talk about that all the time. That's a good point. Also I put both of these in the team chat as well, and then I did tweak the one Tabitha shared to make it sound a little more like me so that you can look at both of them and then just see like the minor tweaks that maybe you would want to make it feel more like you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move forward. So go ahead and put in the chat how many invites you got out. What I love about this is once you get a comfortable invite that feels like you, then you can literally take it. And I just went through my last like 7 posts on Facebook and just went through people that I haven't messaged or I haven't in a while or whatever, and sent that same thing to people liking my last 5 or 6 posts that are women, not men, because I don't need to talk to them. It doesn't ever go well. Um, and I mean, if men reach out to me, I'll help, but I don't reach out to men to help. And so I went and I did that, and it was super, it's easy and like no pressure when we're all doing it together, isn't it? It's like, oh, we'll just take this and we'll just plug it in here and away we go. I feel like the nervousness always comes like when they respond back and you're like, now what? Like I used to hope that people said no because I didn't know what to do when they said yes. You know? So when they say yes, they want more information, please remember that there's a conversation document in the team page that you can literally go to and look at that tells you when they say yes, they'd love information, say this. Now, if they're saying yes to joining the call tomorrow, then you're going to say, great, I can't wait to see you there. You're going to say, this is the link. It's at this time. If for some reason you don't get on live, let me know and I'll get you the replay. You make a list of all of the people that said yes. Tomorrow, an hour before, you remind all of them. The call's in an hour. I'm excited to see you on. It gives them the ability to say, oh, to first, maybe they forgot. Second, to say if they can't get on live or not, right? And then when it's done, you follow up with them again at some point in that evening or in the morning and say, that was so awesome. Were you on the call? What did you like best? And if they weren't able to get on, you're able to send them the replay. If they were able to get on, they tell you what they liked best. You're excited about what they liked best. And then my next question is always, awesome. I love that you liked that. That's one of my favorite things too. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being you're all in, where are you with wanting to move forward as either a customer or an advocate on that scale? And because so many times they say, we liked this or and then we sit there like, how do I move this conversation forward? And that's exactly what you do. Okay, awesome. I'm so excited. Okay, so let me just gauge this. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10, you're all in. Where are you with wanting to XYZ? They'll give you a number. Anything less than a 10 is, okay, can you explain to me why it's that? If it's a 9, well, I just need to get home and make sure that my husband's okay with me spending the $2.99 on the kit. Great. Follow up with me tonight. I'll be crossing my fingers for your hubby, for your hubby's answer or whatever. Or actually, I just want to see if it's okay with my doctor that I take this. Some people will say that. Whatever the number is, just ask why. If it's low, like a 4 or a 5, this is where we also need to learn to read the room. And this is probably somebody that we don't need to really drag along. We can say, okay, so why is it a 4 and a 5? And they could be like, I'm just really not sure if this is for me. Well, what other information can I get for you? I have a TED Talk that might be great. What is that? And then put another third-party tool in front of them or get them in a 3-way message with one of us. Or they might just be somebody who it's really not worth going back and forth with. Read the room, trust your intuition. So what we're going to do now is do some follow-ups. So we had the $150 deal for from the 1st to the 14th for people to enroll as advocates. So we invited a lot of people to learn about the business. Some people took advantage, some did not. It's a great time to revisit all of those and follow up with them and let them know, hey, I've just been thinking of you. I know that you didn't jump in on that deal before and maybe it wasn't time or it was finances, whatever it was. I just wanted to let you know that inspiration does a lot in my life. And tomorrow we have a call that I just think will be, if anything, just inspiring and uplifting. And I think it'd be great to follow up and just see if you wanted to jump on that call and listen in tomorrow at 7. Can I send you the link? Something like that, some sort of follow up to just invite them to take another look. So the reason is, you guys, is that it can take up to 6 to 11. There's always different numbers people are saying, exposures before people say yes. An example of this really quick is on my drive to Michigan, and I give this example every time because it's true. There's a freaking chocolate factory, and I never knew it existed. Okay. But I get about 50 miles from this thing, and it billboard chocolate factory, these cute little truffles. I'm like, oh, that looks nice. Okay. Forget about it. 30 seconds later, 10 miles down the road, another chocolate factory sign. I'm like, must be a pretty good chocolate factory sign. There's two of these. Okay. 1 minute later, forget about it. I'm driving. Kids are in the car. I'm listening to music. Life is busy. I forgot. 1 minute later, right? I get closer. Another sign. I get closer. 1 mile. Take this exit to the chocolate factory. The more I see it, the more I want it. That's exactly what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do with this stuff. We feel the urgency and we feel it personally when people watch something and then say that it's not for them, or they say they're going to join but they didn't have time and they'll take the replay but then they can't find time to watch the replay. It's not personal. They got 30 seconds down the road and forgot about it because their kids are fighting. They got a minute down the road and forgot about it because their dog's barking their head off and they're about to get the cops called on them. Can you hear her? There's so don't take it personal, but just continue. And people often need to see things a few different times before they're like, that was what I needed to hear right there. Same things I've heard in a different way, but that was it. I'm in. Okay. So go ahead and take some time real quick to follow up. I'll type one in the chat. Okay, so I want you to take note of how I worded this. Happy Wednesday, my friend. I just wanted to circle back from the chat we had earlier this month about the business. We have an awesome, inspirational, and short call tomorrow at 7 p.m. I don't want to waste any more of their time. I don't want to ask for too much more of their time, right? A short call tomorrow at 7 p.m. I think it's at 7 Central. I don't know, 7 Central? Okay. 8 Eastern, that I think you would really enjoy and could help speak to what we chatted about previously. Here's the kicker. Can I send you the link to join live, or would you like the replay? I didn't give them the option to tell me they didn't want anything. And I didn't end it with a let me know. I said, can I send you the link to join live, or would you like the replay? Now they can say, actually, I don't want either, and that's fine. But the way I word that sets it up for an easy, I'll take the replay, or an easy, yeah, send me the link, right? So go ahead and send that to as many people as you can in the next 4 minutes. And then we're going to end with a little call to action for everyone. And then while you guys are finishing that up, I do just want to give you a tip here. Um, and I know that Michelle does this, I think, pretty religiously. And it's something that I do about once a week is I'll go through and I will just very authentically go to the birthdays on Facebook and put on their post like any other human would, happy birthday, have a great birthday, hope you have the best day, whatever it is. That's once again an algorithm boost. Once again, it makes that person feel special. They're going to start seeing your stuff and start looking at your stuff. I don't use it as an opportunity to offer them a discount because when people do that to me on my birthday, I'm like, you're just trying to get a sale. Like I think that at this point, with birthdays being done for so many years this way in marketing, I think it's like they get it. But if that's something that feels good to you because you would like receiving that, then do it because whatever you would like, that's how you should move. I should move how I would like. So for me, I like to put it on their page. Some people like to offer a discount, whatever it is. But that's something that also gets you some algorithm boosts and some more connections. And I love it because this just shows you, like Michelle says, no, she does a message and then she asks if should they've done anything special. And I love and that gets you some good connections going, right? Which is funny. And I love this. This is what I love is that all of us need to do business the way we need to do business. For me on my birthday, when people ask, did you do anything? I'll say thank you. And if they're like, did you do anything special? I'm like, ah. And I just ignore the message and I never respond again. But there's people then that genuinely connect because for me, it's just another message and I'm not interested. I'm happy where I am. But this is an aha moment for me, Michelle. So thank you because I'm processing it as I'm saying it. For you, these other people that still need community and need connection, and you could be one of maybe five people that are actually reaching out to them makes a big difference. So thank you. I'm glad that actually I just came up or said this because I just had a perspective shift. And so I appreciate that. Okay, I'm all done talking.
All right. So continue doing, after we get off this call, feel free to continue doing all the things to tie up all the loose ends. But we need to move on to the last thing. So your call to action is going to be to look at your calendar from here until the end of November, even into December, if that feels better for you. And I want you to think about a day, a time that you could do a pop-up. Um, I need to do this. I actually was talking to Kate. Is Kate still on here? No, she got off. Kate about this today. But um, I mean, what better time to do a pop-up than surrounded by the holidays coming up when we're having like a holiday sale month, okay? I can't exactly remember. The sales will be different than they were last year. I can't remember. I'm sure. I just can't remember how it worked. Um, if it was like I just can't remember. Someone else might be able to remember, but I can't. So with that being said, I know we don't know when the sales are going to be, but if we think about I always love to think about, okay, if my goal for PQV is 4,000, okay? 2,000. I mean, I'm just throwing out some numbers here, okay? If my goal is 4,000 and I know that I have X amount on auto ship already, okay? I know I have 2,000 on auto ship every month at order. Then I got to come up with this other 2,000. And I can message and I can post and I can do all these things and I can show up every single day. But if I could put something in place, something like physical, that's not the word, concrete, maybe, like something concrete on my calendar where humans are going to show up, or a couple of them, right? It doesn't have to be a bunch. It could just be 2 to 3 people that you're getting together with. They're going to show up and they're going to learn from me, or they're going to sample, or they're going to whatever. Then I know that, and I do my best and I get excited and I share it and I ask the questions and I invite to this and I really create this excitement around what I have envisioned for this event. Then I know that I'm going to get a couple humans there who want to try and potentially buy the product, in which is going to be icing on the cake on top of when you go to, because here's the thing, if we're pushing and I don't like to use that word because sometimes I think pushing's like we need to like not use that word necessarily. But if we're consistently showing up every single day and sharing, and then at the end of the month, we're doing hardcore follow-ups, right? We're like following up, following up, following up, and really closing these people. And you've got this concrete event at the end of the month. I mean, your volume is going to almost always, I feel like, surpass what you wanted to do because you've put the strategy in place and plan to make this happen. So I highly encourage you to figure out something. It could be the smallest thing. It could just be like a coffee date with someone or two coffee dates to where you're having two people connections, right? But something where you're actually getting in front of someone with a sample, with information, with excitement and fire. If you can't do something in person, get with your upline or a sideline and see if we could do something virtual. I think that it's inspiring what Jessica just did tonight, and I have done some virtual things in the past, and I think I got burnt on them a little bit for different various reasons. And I think that it's definitely something. It has its place, and it's something that is kind of the way of the world now. Honestly, sometimes people would rather that. So you got to kind of figure out like what you want that to look like. But I always think that it's so smart to put something at the end of the a month towards the end. It doesn't have to be at the end. I just think it's awesome because if you're working, consistently all month and then you're closing things at the end, we have all this momentum as a team at the end of the month, like month end magic. And then you have this event. It's like you're going to close a lot more people and your volume's really going to get up there. Um, so something else I was going to say and I can't think of what it was. Yes, but that's good. That now the next time you do it, it's like you feel just more empowered and you feel like, and I think it's fun to be like, okay, I did something I set out to do and it was hard and it was different and it was kind of scary, but I got in front of people and I used my voice. And now think about the impact that your voice is going to have on those people. And I'm sure that it's family and people that you know, but I just think it's really cool because sometimes your family, I'm just going to be real and saying sometimes your family are the worst. Like, it's going to sound so bad, but they're the worst to get in front of. For me, they're the worst. I don't want to talk to my family about this because A, they're not on the same mindset that I'm in with like holistic health. And so it's like they don't want what I got. Okay. So anyways, that's a whole other thing. But I would rather speak to people that like I feel like I don't even know anything about them. They are just I feel like they're open, they're here for it. I just did an event with Annie Reed, I don't know, it was like a month and a half ago, and with some of her downline, and it was just so fun because I'm like, I don't know a single person in here besides Annie and her advocate that she brought. And I'm just like, this is awesome because people were so open to learning. They were just asking a bunch of questions. And I'm like, this is refreshing. Like people who actually ask questions and they're not just like. So anyway, um, so I highly encourage you to challenge yourself to do another event, whatever that looks like. Could be small, could be a little bigger scale than what you've done, but simple. You do not have I am not a fancy person when it comes to these events. I would rather just I feel like your story is the most powerful thing you could share. You have some products out, you talk about them, and you just share your heart and what Green Compass is, and people will like feel drawn to it. Um, I say let's plan a virtual and live each. I know. Yes, I like that. Yes, so I don't know how we can hold each other accountable for that, but I think that's awesome because I know I need to do that and I have reservations about doing a live event in my area and I don't know why. Um but like I need to break through that. So, okay. Anything else anybody wants to say? I'm excited. We have another power hour next Wednesday at the same exact time. So look forward to that just because that will be really towards the end of the month and that'll be fun to just kind of see where we are. Okay, you guys, happy Wednesday. Have a good night. Thank you all for getting on and being a part of this.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night.